What happens when you finally let your body release what it's been holding? Imagine waking up and the first thing you notice is that your body feels different. Not dramatically, just significantly lighter, like something that was always in the background, always slightly there, has gone quiet. You've slept, really slept. The 3 a.m. isn't happening anymore. Your back isn't the first thing you feel when you move. And something else is different. You look in the mirror and you recognize yourself. Not the version you've been managing. The version underneath all of that. The one who knows what she wants. The one who knows what's hers and what isn't. The one who isn't living filtered through everybody else's needs and everyone else's version of who she should be. That's not a fantasy. That's what I've watched happen in real women with real symptoms, real lives, real histories, when all 4 layers of what they've been carrying finally get to release together. In this video, I'm going to describe exactly what that looks like, because I think you deserve to know what's actually possible for you. The body, the weight that has been resistant for years, begins to release, not through restriction, but because the body no longer has a reason to hold it. The inflammation that was chronic begins to resolve. The back pain quiets, not always immediately, but often, but within weeks certainly, as the body processes what it's been holding. Sleep returns, often dramatically and relatively quickly. Energy comes back, not a caffeinated kind of energy, but the deeper kind, the kind that's there in the morning before the day has taken anything from her. Yet, the body begins to feel like home again, rather than a problem to manage. The clarity, the brain fog lifts. Women describe this as one of the most unexpected and dramatic shifts. Being able to think clearly, make decisions, follow a thought to its conclusion without losing it. The rumination, those looping thoughts that run at night, slows and then stops. There's a quality of mental spaciousness that returns, often described as, I can hear myself again. The overwhelm that felt constant begins to be replaced by something that resembles calm, not forced calm, natural ground. The direction. The lostness begins to resolve, not because they've been given answers from outside, but because the clearing of what was covering them allows their own knowing to surface. Women who came in saying, I have no idea what I want, begin to have ideas, concrete ones. The next step clarifies. The life that actually fits them becomes visible in a way it wasn't before. And then, crucially, they begin to move toward it. Not because someone told them to, because the resistance that was keeping them still has been cleared. The identity? This is the one that takes the longest to fully integrate, and the one that has the most lasting impact. The woman who comes in feeling invisible, unrecognizable to herself, like someone took the real her and left a managed version behind, she begins to return, not as someone new, as someone remembered. Women describe this as the most profound part of the transformation. I feel like myself again, said with a kind of quiet astonishment, because many of them had stopped believing that was still possible. The creative opening. This one surprises people most often. Women who haven't felt creative, enthusiastic, genuinely excited about anything in years begin to feel it return. Ideas come back. Possibilities that were invisible become visible. There's a connection, a reconnection with the part of them that was curious about life, that wanted things, imagined things, felt the pull of something beyond the management of daily existence. Creativity returning is often one of the first signs that the soul has room to breathe again. Everything I've described in these 3 videos, the body holding what hasn't been processed, the 4 layers that need to move together, the transformation that becomes possible when they do. That's the work I do with women. I work one-on-one, which means every session is completely specific to the woman in front of me. We don't follow a generic protocol. We go where the actual work is, across the physical body, the energy field, the environment, and the identity, simultaneously, not one at a time. Women come to me primarily because something significant has happened or is happening in their lives, a transition that has cracked them open, and they can feel that something is trying to emerge through that opening. They just can't access it yet through the weight of everything else they're carrying. I help them put down what was never theirs, and I help them remember who's been there all along underneath it. The results I've described in this video, the body changes, the clarity, the direction, the identity reclamation, those aren't exceptional outcomes. They're what consistently happens when you actually address all of it at once. If you've watched all 3 of these videos and something in you has been saying yes, not just your mind agreeing with the ideas, but something deeper, something that feels like recognition, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Not a sales call, a real conversation where we look at where you actually are, what you're actually carrying, and whether working together is genuinely the right next step for you. If it is, I'll tell you exactly how that works. If it isn't, I'll tell you that too. The link to book that conversation is below. There's also a short questionnaire that comes through when you book. It helps me come completely prepared so we can go deep from the very first minute rather than spending time on background. And if you're not quite ready for a conversation yet, that's completely fine. Comment the word body below this video and I'll send you something directly that might help you take the next step in your own time. Either way, thank you so much for being here for all 3 of these. The fact that you're still watching means something. Trust that.